During my last episode I have been focusing on the roof rack for Model 3. But will my Tesla stand for its promises? With skis on the roof, 5 people in the car and all their belongings needed fully packed into a car going over 1,000 kilometers, will we make it going north to a remote place in the mountains with an electric car? Will there be enough places to charge the car? We did go further this time to another ski resort where I never have been with my electric cars. We went to a small ski resort on the edge of West Sweden, just to the border of Norway, called Tänndalen. Here you find mountain tops higher than 1,000 meters. For Sweden this is considered high, since the highest top in the country is just a little bit higher than 2,000 meters. There were several factors why we made the choice of going to exact this place. But one important reason was that the destination had a Tesla destination charger. It's marked on the Tesla charger map, where you can find all Tesla's chargers and service centers. There is different routes to choose from going from my home. Some are faster and some shorter. And I was curious to know how much impact the roof rack would have on the consumption. The first part of the leg was highway with speed limitations of 110 and 120 kilometers per hour. Here the consumption was extremely high, frightening high, I would admit. But during the first supercharger stop, the car gave the indication when reaching an 85% battery level that we were ready to go. Continue the trip to the next supercharger 269 kilometers away, and the car's navigator predicted that we will have 12% left in the battery upon arrival. But going back onto the highway driving 110 kilometers, the estimate quickly dropped to 11, 10, 9, 8, 7%. Now I decided to reduce the speed, and then the estimated percentage started to rise again. But will we make it to the next supercharger? Then after some time we left the highway and came onto a more of a standard roads with lower speed limits. We drove and the battery got more and more empty. So we had to stop, but not because we ran out of energy in the battery. No, our stomachs got also empty and we needed to refill them. The range of the car was enough to get to the next planned supercharger stop, but our bodies didn't make it. And as a coincidence, there was this 50 kilowatt fast charger just next to the restaurant. So we could fill up both the car and our stomachs in the same time with energy. It didn't matter that it took some extra time to fill up the car with this 50 kilowatt charger, since we needed this extra time for a relaxing lunch break. Then we could skip the supercharger stop and drove directly to our destination. Now it felt that we really left the civilization behind us. We drove through forest, kilometers after kilometers, and we didn't meet any car during long periods. This part of Sweden is very deserted, and now you start to see warning signs for reindeers. And they are around, and you have to pay attention to not hit them. drove higher and higher up in the mountains, and the higher we came, the more snow was covering the ground, and finally we reached our resort. Here, in this harsh climate, there is not many things besides mountains, trees, and bushes. And of course, the ski slopes. The resort destination charger was a Tesla wall connector with 11 kilowatts on 3 phases, which made the charging up to 90% very quick. Just in few hours it was ready. Then I moved the car to another parking spot in order to not block the charger for other Tesla drivers. While parked, the Sentry mode was on, and I noticed that drained the battery quite a lot. So before going back home, I needed to fill up the battery again for the return trip. Here in the mountains, the weather can change very fast. From sunny to a snowstorm in just minutes. And it is snowing a lot. But eventually this snow will melt and the water will try to escape the mountains with help of the gravitation. And here comes the benefit from having mountains, being able to harvest this vertical energy in the water in dams and make clean electricity. But the problem is that in this remote area there is no need for all this electricity. The huge consumption is made in the big cities in the south. Therefore, when traveling in this part of Sweden, you can see many big power lines cutting through the landscape, bringing the energy from the hydropower stations in the north to the consumers in the south. The gravitation also helped to keep a low consumption of my Tesla Model 3 when going back. On top of that, we were lucky because this time we had quite strong tailwind all the way back, which meant that the consumption was low even if we had the roof rack with skis on top of the car. Anyway, if you would like to watch some other movie on how far you actually can go with the Tesla Model 3 without a roof rack, you can click this video up here. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. And until next time, have a great life.